If you received a 2.7% increase to your income, to your yearly income, would that make up for the inflation that you've experienced this year? The reason why I ask this is because the COLA, the cost of living adjustment for Social Security recipients, is predicted to be 2.7%. And by the time you watch this video, that might already be confirmed, or it might be less, because the COLA adjustment comes out together with the most recent CPI inflation report, which is on the 24th of this month. Now, I want you to answer this question, either in your head, in your comments, out loud. Is 2.7% enough to cover the added increased prices that we've all experienced? To me, the answer is clear. To me, the answer is no. But also the data, it backs up that answer. There's some things that are unfortunate about how the COLA adjustment works. It's based on the CPI inflation report, and it's based on the one, or it comes together with the one that comes out this month. It happens every single year, and we use it for the following year. Couple of things that bother me. First is that the CPI inflation report, this is known. The CPI inflation report, that is not the true inflation for the year. We don't really know to a perfect degree the true inflation for the year because we don't have a metric that tracks true inflation. The CPI is the Consumer Price Index. This tracks cost of living. Similar to the PCE, although they're weighted a little bit differently. The Federal Reserve cares primarily about the PCE, but the COLA, the cost of living adjustment, is based on the CPI. So, if we know that this is not the true rate of inflation, in fact, there are many studies that say the true rate of inflation is usually significantly higher than the CPI, sometimes double. If this is the case, how are you going to give our most vulnerable population, senior citizens, not only our most vulnerable, but people who have worked their entire life to be able to retire? People who have worked their entire life to have some semblance of peace, right? And yes, some retirees are very wealthy, don't get me wrong, but some aren't. These people are on fixed incomes. And in fact, if the 2.7% COLA adjustment is accurate, that means that on average, the average Social Security recipient will get a $55-ish, $50 increase, monthly increase to their income. So I can ask you the same question a different way. I could say, is $50 per month more to your monthly income, is that enough to cover the inflationary expenses or added expenses that we've experienced in 2025? You tell me. To me, the clear answer is no. So we have a system where Social Security is already set to run out of money, is already vastly lagging what most people need to survive. And on top of that, we have these COLAs, these cost of living adjustments that do not accurately track the added cost to the average American. So, whether it is on purpose or not, whether it is by design in the system, or it's just a sad side effect, the fact of the matter is everything, even Social Security, further divides the very, very wealthy and everybody else. Because if your cost of living is going up truly 4-5%, yet your cost of living adjustment is 2.7% this time around, and you do that year over year over year over year over year over year over year, eventually the gap is widened so far between the actual cost of living and what people are getting paid that it doesn't even matter anymore. It doesn't even matter anymore. The original peg years ago doesn't even matter anymore because what people are receiving now is a fraction. It is a token. It is a gesture that, here's some money. Even though Americans pay in to Social Security every single year, and it's not a choice. We don't have another option. Okay, I can't choose to invest my money instead. Even though my formal education and background and years of experience is in finance and economics, I can't choose to not pay into Social Security. Nobody can. So unless you don't make money, right, for the year, or you run a loss in your business or whatever, nobody can not pay into Social Security. So you are forced to pay into a system that is not going to pay you back what you put in. And on top of that, the divide is going to grow larger and larger and larger. And that's why people who are on Social Security have to constantly find other ways to make money. And some people are fortunate. Don't get me wrong. Some retirees are insanely wealthy. Hundreds of millions, even some just a few million, more than enough, right? But for the average American, the average person that you pass on the street, maybe even yourself, you might be looking down the road 30 years and say, that's going to be me. For the average American, the backbone of this country, what awaits you in retirement, it appears to be poverty. Either by design or by accident, it doesn't really matter. The system is broken. I'm going to leave you with that. I didn't say this at the beginning. My name's Derek. I got my degree in finance. You don't have to. If this video was informative, please consider subscribing. If you agree with me, please consider subscribing. If you disagree with me, that's fine. Civil discourse is very important. Please consider subscribing or commenting below. Every subscription means the world to me. It's difficult to grow here on YouTube, but I love finance, and I want to be able to share this with as many people as possible. Every subscription matters and means the world to me. I hope to see you in the next video. With that said, I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day, even though this video was a little bit on the somber side. I'll see you in the next one, which I'm sure is going to be very soon, because there's so much crazy stuff that happens economically in this crazy world that we're living in. Take care.